Hey guys, and welcome to a Smite Tactics deck build video. My name is Jaggerous, and as you can see, my Smite Tactics videos have a brand new home here on youtube.com/Jaggerous. Now, I was previously uploading Smite Tactics videos on the Killer Bits YouTube channel, but I kind of realized that we're more known for like co-ops and versus and multiplayer stuff, so the single player Smite Tactics wasn't really working there, so it's got a brand new home here. So if you've been enjoying my past Smite Tactics content, along with other card gaming content, then this is the channel for you, and if you want to see more, then maybe hit that subscribe button. So today we are running a crazy expensive deck. It's a crazy deck, it's an expensive deck, it is a crazy expensive deck, and that is a full control Egyptian deck. It's actually an Isis deck, though you can use Ra if you prefer. But this deck is totally nuts. It's totally nuts. It has like 4 legendary cards in it. It's nuts, okay? So let's have a quick look at that deck, and that is it here, Control Isis. So this deck is all about clearing out your opponent's cards. So basically, as your opponent summons things, you just kind of get rid of them, and then getting to the late game where you're gonna spam a bunch of strong epic cards, basically monsters and whatnot. And it's a pretty nasty deck. It's very consistent, and it's a lot of fun. So we have, you know, our general clear cards. We have Sunder, deal 2 damage to a non-leader enemy. Magma Slam, deal 3 damage to a non-leader enemy. This is just, you know, damage to clear the board. On top of that, we have Sobek, who's a early summon. He is a 1/3. He also charges forward and throws an enemy up to 3 tiles behind him, dealing 2 damage. So that 2 damage doesn't take retaliation damage because it's an ability, and you can reposition your opponent. So I think he's just generally a good pick. You know, you could run something like Fire Imp instead. That's a 2/1 with charge, so that's similar, kind of 2 damage. But Sobek's a little bit tankier. He doesn't die from the damage in the same way that something else would. We also have Execute. We've got 2 of those. Kill a non-leader enemy. So just again more clear. Last Breath, poison up to 2 random non-leader enemies. Poison enemies are killed at the end of their next turn. So this one, they survive a turn, but then they die. And Fire Shards, which is a legendary card, deal 3 damage to all enemies. And that includes the leader. Like, that's just freaking everyone. Everyone just gets bombed with fire. It's like Armageddon. It's pretty fun. So that's our kind of clear. On top of that, we have a Pardon. Give a friendly Pardon. You can use this on your leader. You know, if you don't want them taking return damage, you can use it on Sobek or Anhur or Anubis if you summon him, or one of the gods you summon from Book of the Dead, which we'll move on to later. It's just kind of a generally useful card. It is something that you can swap out. Similarly, Sentry Ward, draw a card from your opponent's deck. So it's a 2 cost, and you draw something from your opponent's deck. This is just, you know, taking stuff from them. Sometimes you can get something really useful. This is another card, you know, you might not enjoy it. You can always swap it out. You could go like Ward, I think it's called. Yeah, Ward, draw 2 cards if you just, you know, want some draw. Alternatively, I know people like Minion Recruiter, spawn a random minion from your opponent's deck to the battlefield. So instead of Sentry Ward, which gives you a random card, this gives you a random minion. I mean, the minions in the game are generally cheaper than 3, so I'm not super prone towards it, but I know a lot of people see success with the cut. On top of that, we have Anhur, you know, deal 3 damage to an enemy and knock them back. So this is just range damage. This is, you know, starting to get into our win condition as we clear all of the other monsters from the deck. Geb on top of that, his ability is just insane. Give a friendly +0/+3 and remove all crowd control effects from them. So you can remove taunts and gain 3 health as an ability, and you can do that every other turn because it's an ability, and he's a 2/7, so it's pretty damn nice. Anubis is a 4/5 ranged, and his ability, deal 3 damage in target area. Enemies in target area at the end of the turn take another 3. So you can either deal 4 damage to a single target, ranged, or 3 damage to, you know, multiple targets. Again, it's good clear, and it's another win condition. Phantom Grasp, take control of a non-leader enemy, so you just steal someone's unit. You know, they maybe summoned a really strong unit, buffed it up, and you're just like, nah mate, nah, we're good. I'm gonna just borrow that from you, and you just take it from them. And last but not least, we have Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead is a insane card. Spawn 3 random gods from any grave. So your grave or their grave. You just get 3 random gods out of the graveyard onto the battlefield. And seeing as, you know, you're executing and killing a lot of units, you then just get 3 gods. And this is actually a really strong deck against Greek, because Greek is very god-centric. Norse, on the other hand, they typically have like rush decks. They're trying to kind of rush you down in as quickly as possible. So it's maybe less god-focused, which means that Book of the Dead is not going to be quite as effective, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, let's jump into a game, and hopefully I can show you guys the strength of this deck. Okay, so as you can see, we're going up against a Zeus, which, like I said, is very god-centric. We're going to hold on to both of our Sunders here, which are quite useful. Pardon isn't really useful until we have other units, so we're going to get rid of that. Last Breath is alright, but again, you know, it's kind of delayed. Like, stuff like Execute is a little better than that, so I think we'll mulligan the Last Breath as well, though you could keep on hold of it. And that was a rubbish mulligan. We've ended up with Phantom Grasp and Anubis. You know, stuff that we just don't want. These are the cards you're wanting to draw, you know, late game, not early game. It doesn't look like he's playing anything, or maybe he... Nope, he's not playing anything. That's fine. I mean, that means that we can choose not to play anything. Although, actually, he might have played his... No, he wouldn't have played his ability power because he attacked me. I was going to say he might have played his god power to attack me and then summon something, but it doesn't seem to be the case. 1, 2, 3... I'm wondering if we back off. No, I think we want to remain in the open, because Book of the Dead, you need a lot of space around you in order to summon everything. We don't need to Sunder anything. Those can get held on to. It looks like we're basically doing nothing, other than... We'll just hit him. We'll just hit him and end our turn. I mean, you know, we could... We just traded 1 for 1 there. With someone like Zeus, I'm not too worried about trading because he's more of a mid to late game character. If it was an Odin, I would have hit him if it was an Odin because Odin is not ranged. But if it's an Odin, you don't want to trade health, you want to just deal health because Odins are going to look to burst you down. And as it currently stands, he's got a handful of like legendary cards like I do. This is basically exactly what you don't want to draw for this deck. Which is Anubis, Book of the Dead, and Phantom Grasp this early, because, you know, it's not very useful. And as we can see here, we are both taking turns at auto-attacking each other, and no one is playing anything. But it suits me to get a big hand of cards. You know, we've got our mana potion. We can always play Geb next turn, should we want to, and start funneling health into me, basically, with the Geb, if he doesn't play anything. If he does play something, we'll kill it with Sunders, or whatever we draw next. This is actually fine, because our deck is such a late game deck that having a Zeus that doesn't play anything is actually really good, because it just means that we don't have to play anything, you know? This is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I mean, the one thing we could look to do is wait 1 more turn and then get Anubis out with our mana potion, should we need to. As it is, though, we can Sunder the Brontes and just kill it. And that leaves us with, what, 4 mana? 3 mana to play with? 3 mana to play with, I think. Which we don't really need to use. Right, come on, end your turn. Come on, you can't, unless you've got something for 1, you're not going to do anything. I'm really surprised he's been choosing to attack me, though, and not draw cards with his mana. Like, if it were me, I would just draw cards. Okay, so we can, I think we're going to just Sunder and auto-attack the Brontes. We could Magma Slam it and just kill it, but the thing with Magma Slamming is that, we want to save this for when he summons something bigger, you know. This is our kind of get-out-of-jail-free card for something bigger, because we've also got the auto-attack from Isis, which means anything with 4 health we can use. So it's safer to just use the Sunder. Sunder we can't use on the leader, so we'll just kind of wait it out. We've only got 3 mana, and we can't afford to play any of these, so we'll just end our turn. I mean, this is where we would have liked to see, like, the Sobex, for example, and the Anhurs, because those are, you know, our cheaper cards that are designed to be played earlier in the game. As it is, we've apparently drawn literally every legendary under the sun, excluding Fire Shards. Which is, you know, deal 3 damage to all enemies, so that's definitely a later game card. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Arachne. Okay, so we can actually Magma Slam and Sunder her, which is a nice combo, and that gets her out of the way. That costs us, what, 3 mana, which would leave us with 2, which we can't do anything with. Her Spiderling is up. That's a 0-2. I'm not hugely worried about that, ultimately. I think this is fine. I mean, this is 3. Yeah, we just want to kill Arachne. Let's do that. We'll take her out. I mean, he's got a 0-1 Spiderling. I'm not too worried about it, because she can't give it Taunt, and it's not got any damage. We can get up to 3 mana, but again, that's not very useful for us, so we'll just hold on to the mana potion. Though it does mean next card we can start looking to play Book of the Dead. Although, you know, only 1 god has been played, and that's Arachne, so at the moment, Book of the Dead isn't really worth playing. It's just not that useful. We could also get Anubis up and out there. Though, again, I'm a little bit worried because he's got so many cards in his hand that he's just drawn a bunch of Sunders and stuff. And I haven't really played anything. And if he just Sunders Anubis to death, that's kind of annoying. But then if he does just Sunder Anubis to death, we have Book of the Dead. You know, so there's definitely options. Are you going to play something? Maybe he's going to give this spider some damage. I don't know. Thanatos. Okay. What have we got? Huh, okay. We don't actually have anything to deal with Thanatos at the moment, but we might draw and execute. Something like that could be good. I'm still not hugely worried because I have 11 health, but then if he starts doubling or like buffing Thanatos, you know, that's going to be a problem. The Phantom Grasp we can use to deal with it, but that's cost 8 mana and we have 5 at the moment. We're about to hit 6. Fire Shards we could play. Kill the Thanatos, kill the Zeus, kill the Spiderling. Not kill the Zeus, it would deal 3 damage to Zeus. It's maybe a bit early, but then if we play the Fire Shards this turn, we have options basically. I think that's the smartest decision, is Mana Potion and then Fire Shards. I mean, it's a little early to play it. There we go. Whoops. A little bit buggy. But I think ultimately that's the smart decision. We'll come around here. We can trade with Zeus because he has less health than us. And we'll end our turn. We're basically just keeping that board clear so that we can start summoning monsters. The problem is, you know, because he's going first, he's summoning before me, which is kind of annoying.
The more glory in surmounting it.
Okay, so this is Enyo. She's going to drop a... Oh, fuck. Holy shit. A 10 damage Enyo. Give me execute. Come on, game. Just give me execute. Oh! You gotta believe in the heart of the cards, you guys. You just gotta believe. Every day's a good day when you execute a 10-5 Enyo. Next turn we're Book of the Deading, though. We're gonna get 3 monsters out, and we're gonna, you know, use them to try and deal with Zeus, I guess. I'm surprised she didn't drop her flag. Like, she has the initiative to drop her flag this turn, and, you know, she could have gotten that out there to either block me or slow me, and, you know, that probably actually would have been quite good for him. I'm thinking maybe actually trading wasn't the smartest plan, just because now he can... I'm down to 8. And, you know, he's been doing these kind of crazy things. Okay, so you've got a Scylla on the board. That was his Beacon of Hope. I don't really rate Beacon of Hope. I think it's like, there's too many... Like, you're better to have the gods that you want to draw than a random one. I've been stunned, which means I can't move. But this is still fine. Because we can Book of the Dead this turn. She ranged. She has 1 damage from range. Book of the Dead. And we knew exactly what we're going to get from that. Because we have... We know what we're going to get from that because we have... let's put this here, I think. Because we have... there's only 3, and we know exactly which 3 there are. I actually probably should have put the Spiderling there and put the stick thing somewhere else, but well. I guess it just randomly spawns a Spiderling at the end of the turn. End turn. So this is kind of how you know, win this. You basically wait till late game and then summon loads of gods with Book of the Dead. Then you can also spawn an Anubis. You can spawn a what's it called? You can spawn an Anubis. You can spawn a well, Phantom Grass. You can take one of theirs. You know, you can spawn random gods. She took out the Thanatos there. I don't know. I think she should have just tried to kill me. That would have done 4 damage to me. He does 1. That puts me down to 2 health. If he could have gotten 2 more damage in with one of these cards, he would have won the game before I kill him with all of these units that I seem to have. I mean, the other thing we can do is Phantom Grasp whatever he summons here. He's got 9 mana. So if he summons like an Athena or something that's going to be a problem, which is maybe what his plan is, summon an Athena like here, which stops these 2 from attacking. We just take it from him, and then we have the Athena. And then on top of that, we can then move our Enyo into attack and our Arachne, and that's kind of game. Oh, see, this is what I thought he would do, is go for the taunt. And there's a Sunder as well. And then you'll, I guess, auto-attack it with Zeus, but that shouldn't kill her, even though this icon is in the way. Let me click on something else. Auto-attack will only do 1. I went for Arachne, fair enough. I think he's grasping at straws a little bit. I don't know. 5 and 9, what else can he summon? Double a friendly non. Oh, look at his little tactic. It's such a, this is such a cute tactic. Isn't it a shame if someone kidnapped that from you? Oh, that would be super lame, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be super lame? I feel like that would be super lame. Let's kill him with Enyo, why not? She's legendary. And this is the Enyo I took from him. Like, killed and then summoned. The one he doubled the health of. And yeah, this deck is kinda nasty. It's kinda nasty. It's definitely a long deck to play. Like, it's definitely one of the slower decks. So if you're looking to earn those, you know, victory favors more quickly, this maybe isn't the deck for you. But all in all, it's not too bad. It's a decent deck. Let's go for one more. I'll just show it off once more, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so you can see here that we are now queuing into a Odin, so we're going to get rid of Geb, 1 Sentry Ward, and Phantom Grasp. We'll hold on to 1 Sentry Ward just in case we don't get anything for clearing the board. Oh my gosh. Where is our clear? What is this? What is this deck? Did I not say we would hold on to Sentry Ward? I swear I didn't mulligan all of my Sentry Wards. Maybe I accidentally misclicked. Oh well, we've got a Sobek. Sobek's alright. It's not exactly what we want, but it is not the end of the world. He hasn't played anything, right? So Sobek is alright here. Oh, there's the Sentry Ward. Oh, that's weird. I'm wondering if we want to just get board control. I think we're just going to get board control with Sobek. We can always Sentry Ward later on. We'll also attack him. He's not ranged, so he won't hit us back, and we will end our turn. I wonder where it will throw him to. If I dash charge the Odin and throw him, where will it put him? That is Fate, so that is... I think this is going to be like an early game rush deck. Like, he's just going to try and deal damage to me. Which you can kind of tell because... Oh, he killed my Sobek. You can kind of tell because he had that card there. We'll pop our Sentry Ward and see what we get. Surtur. Or a friendly's gain +1, +0. We're going to run away from him a little bit so we're ranged and hit him again. This isn't a bad map. It's just very boring. It's kind of just empty. There's nothing like that you can really utilize, which is a shame. We do now have that Sunder in hand though, so we can hopefully start to clear whatever he does choose to summon. And we've got that Pardon, which we can always use on ourselves. It might be worth adding so that we don't take return damage. That is a 1/4 right there. And so this is what I mean by Norse. Norse is kind of a pain in the ass because they summon a dick ton of units, basically. And that's going to be a pain in the ass. The Surtur, especially because of the adjacent nature of him, is a pain in the butt. But what we can do... I think what we're going to do here is just we'll clear one of the Cursed Hunters. I mean, we're going to take return damage, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Clear one of the Cursed Hunters. Last Breath the other 2, which means I can only really take 3 damage from them total. And on the next turn, we can always Geb, and then hopefully, you know, start to heal ourselves with the Geb. It's not ideal, but it's... Because the thing is, Sunder wasn't going to do enough damage, really. I mean, we could have Sundered that instead of killing it with our Mana Potion, but I think our Mana Potion is more useful for later on. The one thing about Norse is that sometimes they, like, you know, they play a lot of cards early on, which means that sometimes they kind of, I guess, like, come too soon is how I would describe it. I'm going to take 2, and then he's probably going to hit me for 2 as well. You can see he's really trying to kill me, basically. The good news is you're dead at the end of the turn, so I don't have to worry about you. Hopefully we'll draw an Execute for whatever he summons, like maybe if he summons Skadi or something, but if not, we do have the Sunder. Oh, this is getting annoying now. Holy crap! The early game burst is real. Oh, I'm dead. And that's, I guess, what Norse can do. So this is what I said, like, this matchup goes really well into Greek, but into a Norse early game rush, he got exactly the cards he needed there. Like, he had the Fate, he had the Backstab, it was all the early game damage, and he was using the, can't remember what it's called, I'll find it in the deck builder. The one that you pay 1 and you draw 1. Basically it costs 1, and you draw 1 of your cards and it costs 1 less. He was using them just to bloat his deck to make sure he got the cards that he wanted. The... Where is it? Where is it? That's not Norse. That's probably why I can't find it. But Valhalla's Blessing, that's the one. So Valhalla's Blessing, add a random Norse card into your hand for your deck. So you can basically put these into an early game kill deck, which is what we had there with the Odin deck, and this will basically buff up your deck, so it'll fill up the deck slots, but it doesn't actually, it basically, you play it and it replaces itself. So it's just basically a card to just play to get the cards that you want, which are like Backstab and Mayhem and stuff. And if you want to see that next week, we can maybe do a Norse early game rush deck instead next week. But this has been Control Isis, and you know, if they don't get that draw in the first few turns, then I definitely think that you have a chance to win as the Control Isis. I don't think Control Isis is completely destroyed by early game Norse, but it's one of the things that it can lose to. And it's cool to show you guys that there. Because you've got a lot of, you know, cheap damage. But on the flip side, you know, you need to draw the cheap damage. You need to draw, you know, the Mayhem, the Backstab, the Cursed Warriors, the Cursed Hunters, and so Fates, and so on and so forth. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the deck in the comments below, what you would change. Like I say, this deck is incredibly expensive. It does have a lot of legendary cards. And they're kind of necessary. Like, this is the cheapest control raw deck that I've made, and that, you know, it has Phantom Grasp in it. And honestly, with the inclusion of these other cards, it's just much better. So I don't think that this is the, you know, greatest deck in the world. This is where, when I had much fewer cards, basically, I made this deck. Although it's not too bad, you know. You can use like the stuns, for example, in this to buy yourself some time to draw executes or get, you know, Neath attacking or what have you. It's still good, and putting stuns in this deck does actually work if that's something you're interested in doing. But yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Like I say, if you enjoy Smite Tactics and card gaming and this kind of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll be back next week with another deck video if you want to let me know what you want to see in the comments below. We should also have a pack opening and kind of card discussion coming up as a bonus video this week, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous, and on Twitter @Jaggerous if you want to kind of follow me. That would be cool. Beyond that, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!